Hello fellow makeup lovers, how are you guys doing today? So we're going to be talking about new indie makeup releases for the past week or so and my personal opinion on them. This video series was inspired by Angelica Nikas and Samantha March, so I will have their channels linked down below, as well as a community Will I Buy It, and also all the Instagram accounts that I use. So before we jump into everything, I do want to say really quickly that I changed my camera, so if everything doesn't look perfect right now, it is kind of a transition phase on my channel to make everything better and to feel like, I don't know about the lighting. You guys can let me know if you like the lighting in this video or not. I also have a mic now, so hopefully the audio sounds really good. What else changed? Oh yeah, I cut my hair and I have bangs now, so that happened. I'm having a quarter life crisis is what I want to call it. I just decided my hair needs to go. I was like so done with it. So I just wanted a change. And I'm going to try not to be too chatty in this video just because I am currently sick, getting over a cold, and I don't feel like I'm capable of sitting here and talking for a whole hour, so we're just going to kind of get into it. And I didn't choose as many makeup products today, just basically the things that really spoke to me the absolute most. Alright, so the first thing I want to talk about today is the new Linda Halberg Metallic Mysteries 2. I feel like everyone is going crazy for this palette right now. Like, the overall, comments were very, very positive on it, but I just feel like it's a pass for me because it's not something I see myself using a ton. It's not colors I'm super, super drawn to. It is like $60 for the 4 shades, so I just feel like I said, it's a pass for me, and I don't know, I'm not like loving it the way other people are. I don't know, I'm just kind of like, nah, and I'm like, one of my things I'm working on this coming year is not talking myself into things that I'm not already like absolutely in love with from first sight. So I think this is, like I said, a pass for me. So the next thing I want to talk about is the Pigment Palace Modern Royalty palette, and the colors in here really don't draw me in. I'm not really digging the eyeshadow colors. I think they're pretty, and it's kind of just a rainbow palette. It looks fine. It doesn't look bad. It doesn't look amazing. So I'm kind of like here or there with those. But I did want to mention the packaging because I think the packaging is so cool, and props to the artist who drew this. So you have like a row of just women, and it's literally like every single body type, every skin color. There's a disabled woman, there's a woman with vitiligo, I think is how it's pronounced, a woman wearing a hijab. Like, I just think this is so, so cool. So, like, just showing modern royalty, like this all-inclusive, I don't know. I really, really like it. I think it's very cool, and I like the packaging a lot. But I'm not going to buy it for the packaging, but I did want to go ahead and mention it just because I think that is such cool art and such a brilliant idea to put on a palette and just kind of, you know, showcase everyone. So next up are some singles from Black Rose Cosmetics Australia, and I've never heard of this brand until now, but they are coming out with a bunch of different singles. I'll try to make a collage of all of them because I only have a portion here, but it looks like a few different like really grungy colors, and I think these look nice, like especially the shade Crowler looks really cool. I like the shade, is that Sham? No, that's Swamp, I think. That makes sense, a green called Swamp. So I think these are really pretty, but I don't see myself going on my way to purchase these right now. I'm curious about reviews and everything like that. So next is this palette, and I'm not sure the full name. I think it's the company's like Makeup with Yolanda or something like that. I will leave all the details in the description box, but this is just basically like a gigantic palette, and it's supposed to have like a really amazing pigment. I saw like the different pictures of the swatches and everything. I think that the packaging is very, very loud and very bright and kind of takes away from the eyeshadow colors. I think if the stripes had just been on like the top of the packaging and like maybe like where the mirror is, and then like a more like solid color for everything else, it wouldn't be quite as like overwhelming looking at the palette. But I don't know, I feel like there's definitely some different pops of like blues and like some deeper tones, but I'm just not really drawn into this palette either. I see a lot of people calling it makeup fatigue when you kind of get like to this point where like everything just looks the same, and I kind of feel like that, like, I don't know, I'm not like super, super drawn into that. There is another new palette coming out from GJB Cosmetics, and this is called the Toasted Roses palette. Again, another pass for me. I'm sorry this video seems to be so negative today, but I think this is really pretty actually. It kind of looks like a more unique twist on a like soft rosy palette. You've got like a little pop of like a periwinkle purplish blue. You've got like a mauve shade. You've got, it looks to be either a pressed glitter or like a glittery metallic shade, and just like some softer tones. So I think this is pretty, but I just don't feel like it's something I would reach for or use that often. Here is something, however, that I am debating on getting, and this is the Divina Cosmetics Secret Diaries palette, and I talked about this in the past, and I said that I did really like the colors. So, I wanted to mention it again because we do have a date now. I believe it's it's launching on December 7th at 6 p.m. PST. So I am excited about this palette. I think the colors overall are really pretty. But they did say that they are going to be available as singles as well, so I might just grab some singles. I'm kind of going back in my head, like, should I just grab singles of the colors I really, really want? Or should I grab the whole palette and kind of wait for like a deal, like when they do like a 30% off sale or something? I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to pick it up, but I'm really, really drawn to the 3 shades to the right on the middle row, the shade all the way to the right on the top row, that like light blue, and then all 4 shades on the bottom row. So maybe I'll just end up getting those ones. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I do think that's really pretty, and it's something on my wish list coming up. Next, this is pretty awesome to finally see. Sugarpill is releasing 7 new single shadows, and I don't know, it kind of feels like it's about time. Like, Sugarpill is known for their single shadows, and they have not released any new ones in a hot minute. So far they have shown a green and like 2 different blue tones, and I think they look really, really pretty. I'm not sure if I'm gonna pick them up yet. I don't know, the arsenic shade looks really nice. I don't know, I have a few shades from Sugarpill and I like them. I think that they're good quality, but I wouldn't like, I don't know. Like, for so long, I wanted my Sugarpill shadows so bad. Like, I have like the little palette here, and this was like what I got myself for my birthday last year. And it just looks like this. It doesn't look super used because it's really not. I just feel like I'm not, I don't know, I like them, but I would say that if you haven't tried Sugarpill, you aren't necessarily missing out. So in order for me to pay for their singles, because their singles are really big and they are kind of like $10 each or something, and they barely ever do sales, so I think it would have to be like really interesting colors and like colors I can't find in my collection. So I think once they reveal all 7 shades, I might go through my singles and look if I have anything to dupe them and decide then. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to buy these or not yet, but I am really glad to see Sugarpill finally duping something or doing something new, at least with their single shadow collection. So next, from Beauty of Color Cosmetics, is the Melanin Treasure palette, and I think this one is really, really beautiful. I love the packaging on this. I love the women all on the front. I love the like purple and like different like hues through the actual palette. I think it's just really overall stunning. As far as the shades go, I do like them. I think the different matte shades are really beautiful, like lots of red and warm tones. There's like a pop of blue, a pop of purple. In some ways, this does kind of remind me of the Fall Fusion palette from Blush Tribe. I could definitely see some similarities. I think I would be more interested in picking up this palette if the bottom row was a little bit different, because the bottom row, it has a lot of like gold and like champagne and just like lighter, I don't know, more neutral metallic shades, and for me, I prefer my metallic shades to not be those colors, if that makes any sense. Like, I'm so over golds, so I don't see myself personally picking this up, but I do think it's really, really beautiful. It's very eye-catching. So next up is from Max Up the Makeup Cosmetics, and they have revealed half the shades in their new palette, and they have not revealed the theme yet, so I'm very, very curious to see what the theme is going to be, just from seeing what shades have been revealed so far. So this is definitely kind of catching my eye. There is like the top row is kind of warmer shades, like all mattes, a light matte pink, a light matte yellow, a deeper matte red, and then the next row you can see a like pastel metallic pink, which I think is such a pretty shade. I feel like you don't see that kind of shade as often. And then there's like a like lime metallic green. So I'm really, really curious to see where they're going with this, and it definitely has, like, I definitely have my eye on it. I have the post notifications on for each time they post a new picture and a new shade reveal, so I'm curious to see, especially what the theme is, like between like the like rosy warm tones and then that bright green was kind of like a curveball. So alright, so now moving on to Trend Mood, we're actually going to talk about one more indie thing, which I'm really excited about, and I went to screenshot everything from Trend Mood to do this video, and I saw that the Munaza palette and the Paulina palette from Blush Tribe made it on Trend Mood, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I just think it's so exciting when indie brands make it to Trend Mood, because it feels like they get so much exposure and business, and people get to see a brand that they don't know. So I was really excited about it. and especially excited for Paulina to see her face on Tread Mood. I just thought it was so cool. But let's talk about the Munaza palette today. So this has been revealed, and you can see all the colors in here. There are a lot of blues and a lot of warm tones. I think this palette, I like it. I see myself picking it up eventually, maybe on the next Blush Tribe sale. But the thing I will say is I feel like the colors are kind of like sporadic. Like, I'm looking at the palette, and for me personally, my aesthetic, I like to see like similar colors together. So the way it looks in the palette, it kind of looks like they just kind of like threw them in there, and it was kind of like wherever each color landed is where they are, instead of like, I don't know, in my head it doesn't quite make sense, the placement. So I think that is throwing me off a little bit, but I do overall like the colors. I like that there's a ton of blues. I feel like you could do some really pretty blue looks with this palette. So I am planning on picking that up eventually. I was creeping on the comments on Tread Mood though, and I saw a few people say that they don't understand the color schemes, and I'm just thinking like, yeah, that's because you're so used to seeing all brown with a pop of blue. This probably like blew your mind. So next I wanted to mention really quickly that Physicians Formula is coming out with a butter eyeshadow palette. I love their butter collection, so this like definitely spoke to me, but I know these colors are not things that I would pick up, so I'm gonna pass. Also, I saw that these are $16 each. Is it just me, or is that a little bit crazy for a drugstore like eyeshadow palette to be $16? So next, from BH Cosmetics, they did a collaboration with Sylvia, Gani, and I think this palette is overall really pretty. It kind of looks like a few like neutral tones popped with some colorful tones. It actually kind of reminds me of the Dream palette that just came out between Sigma and Beauty Bird. Very similar tones in here. There's two highlighters, which also there's two highlighters in the Dream palette, so I feel like you could probably dupe some of the same shades from that to here, which I think this one it is more inexpensive. I think it's pretty. But again, not going to buy something unless it like really calls to me. But I think if you like BH Cosmetics formula and you want a few like colorful mattes, I think that they are definitely here. Like, there's a deep green, a deep purple, a deep blue, a deep red. So I think this is pretty. It's nice. I'm not hating it. Next up, this is from Tarte. And this is their new Tarte Yz Pro Glow and Blush Palette. And I was like, really? Really, Tarte, you want to release this as soon as I start my no buy for anything other than eyeshadow, which I will explain very soon. I will do like a whole video on my personal rules and what I'm doing and everything like that, but I am not allowing myself to buy this, even though I'm like such a sucker for like a Tarte formula for these palettes, for their highlighters. I think their highlighters are really, really nice. Their blushes, I really, really don't need another blush palette. So it's a good thing I'm not buying this, but I was definitely like, okay, like, okay, Tarte, I see what you're doing to me. So this looks really, really pretty, like I said, and seems like something I could see myself picking up if I wasn't on a no buy. The last thing I'm going to talk about today is the ColourPop x I Am Becky G collaboration, and this made me laugh, first of all, because Becky G, every time I think about her, well, this is kind of an off-topic story, but my dad and I are trying to learn Spanish, and we listened to Caliente on the radio, and she has a song with someone else, I can't remember who they are, and it's called Sin Pijamas, and I knew what it meant. Obviously, it means without pajamas. She says, like, vamos a mi casa, like, go to my house. Like, I know what the song is about, but my poor dad, he's like, oh, I really like this song. I'm gonna look up the lyrics. And now every single time it comes on, he's like, oh my gosh, I ruined it. I ruined it with these lyrics. I can't believe what this song is about. I'm like, Dad, without pajamas, what did you think it was about? Anyways, so she's coming out with this collection, and I think that the packaging is really, really beautiful, but the palette, oh, the palette, I have some thoughts. So this is basically like every other palette that ColourPop has done. I'm going to leave a picture on screen. I did a picture of like 4 other palettes ColourPop has done with this one, and it's all like a warm palette with a pop of blue. I'm like, I'm just so done with this color scheme, honestly. Like, this seriously looks like Dream Street and the Zodiac palette had a straight up baby. Mostly the Dream Street, like, I feel like you could get every single look out of this palette except for that light teal blue. That's the one unique shade. Everything else in this palette, you could do the exact same things with the Dream Street palette. So I just would not see myself purchasing this. I think it's cool. I like the packaging. I like to see the Latina collaboration. I like it, but the color scheme. I'm like, how many warm palettes can we have with a pop of blue? So, I don't know. I'm kind of over it. I mean, I guess I feel like this one is if I'm giving it a little credit, I feel like this one is slightly different because the blue shades are both mattes, so it's not a metallic pop of blue. I'll give them that. So that's just my thoughts. There are a few other things in the collection. I think I see some of the loose highlighters from ColourPop, which I think are the worst highlighters ever. Looks like there's some different lippy options. So that's just my thoughts. I'm gonna pass on that. Alright, so that is everything for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.